I'm going to turn the floor over to our CEO and President, Ron Powell. I don't even know what he's going to talk about, um, but I want y'all to listen to him. He's been doing this business for a long, long, long time. He does what we do, and he can relate to everything we've ever been through. So, Ron, I'm going to let you talk, and I'm just going to hush up.
Well, thanks, Greg, and thanks for the kind words. It's my 31st year in the final expense business, and I never dreamed that 31 years would go by as fast as what they have, and I never dreamed that I would have as much success that I've had, because I started off as an agent and worked about 15 years in the field selling final expense policies, traveling all over many states. And I always knew that Monday was the most important day of the week. So my goal every week was to be at my first house at 9 o'clock on Monday morning and work till dark, to an hour after dark. Do the same thing on Tuesday and do the same thing on Wednesday. Your skill level is kind of like a knife getting sharpened on a rock. That knife does not go over that rock one time and it's super sharp. That knife has to go over that rock many times. And that's just like your skill level. It gets greater and greater and greater as you do more and more of this business. There's only just a few reasons that people fail in what we do. And the number one, probably most important, is they don't go see the people. There's nothing that I can share with you or anyone can share with you if you don't go see the people. And I'll share with you some more points about seeing the people in just a few minutes. But the second point that I see people fail is they overthink the business. And what I mean by that is they will sell themselves on why these leads are no good, or why this area is no good, or why the manager's no good. And with the lead program that we have, what I found out for me that worked the best is that I would get a minimum of 20 leads every week. The last years I was selling in the field, I was taking 40 and 50 a week. But I knew, like today, when I got my leads, what I was going to make the following week, because I figured out what each lead was worth to me over time. So my whole objective was to go deliver the information, kind of like a UPS man. And I knew the more boxes that I delivered, which is the more leads that I saw, the more yeses that I'd get. And I have seen a lot of people come, a lot of people go. And you never can judge a book by its cover, because you never know what's inside of someone. And that's what I've always liked about this business, is that you get paid exactly what you're worth. Nobody can hold you back. It's left up to you. After you get trained, the way that you get better is by doing more. Well, what I mean by doing more, seeing more people, calling on more leads, making more presentations. Because this is a very, very simple business. The path has already been laid. It's already been proven for time and time and year after year after year. This system has been designed over probably about a 25-year span by a lot of final expense salespeople. But today we have the very best plan that we've ever had in company history. I feel like we have some of the highest quality leads that are in the industry. We have so many benefits. But unless you go see the people, there's nothing else that matters. And yet there was times along the way that I questioned my ability, and I questioned, was this the business that I was going to stay in? And, you know, looking back, probably like a lot of people, you don't go to school to be an insurance agent. The insurance side just kind of finds you. And that's how it was for me. But look at myself. I'm 51 today. I started selling final expense policies when I was around 20 years old. And I've had a lot of success thanks to people that I work with. But I'm nowhere close to where I want to be. Senior Life's nowhere close to where the company wants to be. And no matter how much success that I've had, I'm always reaching for more. At one point, it was about money. But when you start making over $1 million a year and you do that for a few years, money is not as important, and it won't motivate you to carry on to the level that I'm at today, not just sheer money. There has to be many things that go along with what motivates you. What motivates me a lot today is see individuals that maybe I've put to work or I came to know, and they are having the same success that I've had, making $100,000 a month and more. I shared these few points because this system is very simple. And I ask you to ask yourself just one or two questions. The first question is, was you at the first house last Monday morning at 9 a.m.? Did you work past dark? Because we found that the last presentation of each day, if it's dark, has the highest closing percent. Was you at the first house at 9 o'clock on Tuesday? Did you work past dark? Were you at the first house at 9 o'clock on Wednesday? Did you work past dark? Did you take a minimum of 20 leads each week? And if some of those answers are no, what I just asked you, there's nothing no one can do that will help you. Because if you're not willing to put the effort in it, and you're not willing to put time into your own business, if you're not willing to keep the doors open of your own business, how in the world do you expect to make great money? It's kind of that simple. And like I said, where so many people I see fail is they overthink and they underdo. And a lot of times when I talk to agents today and they're telling me they may be struggling and I try to help them, my first few questions are, were you at the first house Monday at 9 o'clock? How about Tuesday? How about Wednesday? Did you work past dark each one of those days? And if someone can't tell me yes, that they did, I will politely say, until you follow the system, I can't help you. And when you go and you follow the system and you struggle, call me and I'll help you as much as I know how. But I can't fix someone that won't go see people and that won't keep the doors of the store open. You're an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur, you have to be self-disciplined. That's a very, very tough battle that a lot of people face, is being self-disciplined, self-driven, getting outgoing, because nobody's going to call you Monday if we knew that you didn't go out at 9 o'clock. Nobody's going to call and get on to you. Same thing for Tuesday. Same thing for Wednesday. Our job is to coach and mentor. not tear down. But again, I can't help an agent if they're not plugged into the system. And why would you join a company if you wasn't going to listen to the leaders that have been in this business for years, such as Greg, such as myself? Most everybody that I know that's super successful at senior life will give you the shirt off their back. But if you're not seeing the people 9 to dark, a minimum of 3 days a week, it's just not going to happen. Yes, our platform today is the best it's ever been. I'm not sure how to keep improving it. We will, I'm positive, but how much better can it get to be able to answer a call, make a sale, spend 30 minutes, and have a $700 deposit? And then get paid on that every month. That person pays a premium from that day forward. It's crazy. You know, in this business, the mailbox money is one of the best kept secret. And that's money that you get paid each month called renewals. And over time, you can build that renewal income up. I remember at one time I had mine built up to $200,000 a month at my company that I got started with before I bought my own insurance company. But where in the world also can you go and be part of a company that you can buy stock in the company if you so desire? Last Friday, I got home about 11 o'clock from New York City and Boston, Massachusetts, and we had stopped in Wilmington, we stopped in Charleston on the way back. And I asked a couple of the people that I was with, I said, how many presidents of insurance companies do you think are working on Friday night at 7:30? Kind of goes for the same thing for you. If you're not keeping the doors open of your store and you're not spending a lot of time out seeing people, you will not make it. And see, I know every time that I get a no, I'm that much closer to a yes. And people in general can't handle no but so many times. But what I try to do is explain, set the stage right to begin with. Don't overpromise, but over-deliver. And as a leader, I have to tell you straightforward what it's going to take to be successful. I'll give you an example of a question that I had actually back last week. One day, one of the agents in there I was taking questions asked, she was brand new, could she make $5,000 a week? So what do you think my answer was to her? Did I tell her that she could make $5,000 a week? What would you think I said? And I went around the room and I asked each person that was in this little group that we were having this meeting. Well, I told her no. And most everyone in the room thought I was going to say yes. The reason I told her no is she was pretty much brand new. And I would be setting herself up for failure if I told her that she would make $5,000 a week. I told her between 12 and 24 months, she could get to that point. But she was brand new. Is it realistic that a brand new person plugs in right off the bat and starts making $5,000 a week? It could happen, but that's not realistic. And I just encourage you to be realistic when you're talking to people. Tell the truth. Lay the plan out. Don't overpromise, but overdeliver. And if you do those things, you'll be successful in this industry. It's a very, very simple opportunity. And if you will put the pressure on the leads, and you will have confidence enough to believe what someone like myself or Greg are sharing with you, and then if you'll go do the work, there is no way you can fail. I'll go one step further and ask yourself this question, and you don't have to respond. But how many of you last week each took a minimum of 20 leads apiece? Now what I'm doing is I'm unraveling really what's going on. And I would be willing to bet, if I was a betting man, that the reason some of you are maybe not having the success that you want, desire, is because you're not plugged into the system. You are not even working the system. And why would you even be here this morning, having this conversation with I, if you wasn't going to plug into the system? It makes no sense for you to come to work here and think you've got to reinvent the wheel. But a lot of times I see people overthinking and underdoing. So what I like to do is maybe take any questions that anyone has, and then I want to have a contest for next week. And I'll tell you about this contest before I take any questions. And this contest is going to show me and Greg by this time next week, this contest will show me and him who's really serious about their future. Because I'm fixing to give each person on this phone $1,000 in cash. Could be even more. The only thing that you have to do is text a picture of the first house you're in front of at 9 o'clock on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. And do the same thing at the last lead that you're in front of, and it has to be past 6 o'clock. So there's 6 things that you have to do. Take a picture Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the lead, with the lead in the house that you're fixing to walk into. Do that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then take the same picture working the last lead of each day, and it has to be after 6. And I want you to text Greg, because Greg is going to oversee who does it and who doesn't. And I know I'm fixing to be a little firm on what I'm fixing to state. And this is not to be mean to anyone, because that's not my nature. But if you do not go get a set of free leads for having to do so little, and those leads turn into maybe $2,000, maybe $3,000. But if you don't go and win this contest next week, Greg, I, nor the Pope can help you. And like I said, and I heard Greg say, you're going to hear more no's than you are yeses. So you have to get thick-skinned in the area of taking a no, because you're going to hear more no's than you are yeses. So I encourage each one of you to take charge next week. Make next week be the best week that you all have as a team so far for 2021. Your group, 20 people, should write a minimum next week of $40,000 in annualized premium. Really 50, but we'll keep it on the low at 40. I'm going to be watching you, and I'm going to be talking to Greg next Friday about this production. But y'all need to pull together and be a team, and y'all go set a new record next week for your group. Y'all go earn these free leads. Y'all turn those free leads into $2,000. It's that simple. This business is that simple. But it's so hard for so many. You know, and I used to fret about this. I didn't understand why people didn't see what I saw, or didn't want what I wanted, or didn't want to make the kind of income that I see that they could make. You're an entrepreneur. You've got to be self-driven, self-started, keep the doors open of your business. If you do that, you will be just fine. And over a year period, you can get to making up to $5,000 a week. But it's not going to happen for new people right out of the gate. Could it be a fluke one week? Yes. But I'm going to keep things realistic. I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver. So I'd like to take 5 or 6 or a handful of questions, and if anyone has any.
Yeah, hi. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mia.
Okay, Ron, I'm Mia Harris. I'm from Wilson, North Carolina, and I appreciate the contest or the challenge. However, can you give a modified challenge for those of us who actually work a 9-to-5 job, who won't be able to actually meet your criteria at 9 a.m. at somebody's house at on those particular times?
What I would do is I'll let you and Greg talk about that one-on-one, and he can figure out a plan that he thinks will work for that.
Okay.
But I do have one other answer.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly where you're at in your entrepreneurial spirit, attitude. To be super at this, you have to be fired up. And you have to be excited and turned on. And being fired up will carry you a long, long way. But my point would be to you is by 5 o'clock today, you should write a resignation letter to wherever you work. because working a job, you can never get ahead. You can make $25 an hour and you'll never get ahead. Being an entrepreneur and building a business, you can get ahead. And I know this is scary sometimes to individuals. And I say that really in all sincerity. It's not me trying to be ugly. But working part-time is fine. But you got to understand part-time effort means part-time results. And I'll give you another little story. My father, the first week he was in this business, he didn't write it out. The second week, I think he wrote one out. And he thought he had done left his company where he was working, and he thought he'd already made a mistake. But the third week, he had a great week. It changed his whole outlook. It changed his whole demeanor, his confidence, and he never looked back from that day on. So, Greg, you guys figure out what you think is fair on that, and I will support whatever you think is fair. And I'm really not kidding about the fact of working a job. Let's just say you had a UPS job. And a UPS driver works pretty hard. But you know, that tablet he's toting in his hand is recording everything in every minute of his entire day. And if I had a camera to put in each one of your cars on Monday morning, and you knew that I was going to be watching you, the percentage of people that would take this challenge and make it happen would go up close to 100%. But since I don't have a camera in your car, and I don't know what time you're going to start, and I don't know how many leads you're going to take, and I don't know what time every afternoon are you going to get completed, then we won't get the same results. It's kind of like working out. It's always easier to work out with someone than work out on your own. And this business is kind of the same way. But I encourage you to get your knife sharp ASAP and get in a position that you can walk away from that job that's like a ball and chain that you're toting and start building your business. And over a 5 or 10 or 15 year period, you'll wake up and you'll have $50,000 a month, $75,000 a month coming in every single month, whether you roll out of the bed or not. And that's where the business gets really good. I was making over $1 million a year when I was 25. And it's really never slowed down since. And senior life is only going to continue to get bigger. We're still a ground floor company. And we have a write-up that's going to be coming out here in the next month or so by a third-party company that reviews insurance companies. That's all they do. And we just won it wasn't an award, but it kind of was an award. And I knew nothing about this, but this article was written by this trade magazine. And it said the fastest 9 life insurance companies in America that is unheard of, that's having the most success in the industry. And we were in the top 9. And I was kind of blown away by that because I didn't know that. But it sure excited me. And it sure proves when we're getting noticed from people in the industry, that's when we really are doing well. And all I can see is sunshine for a long, long time from now. There's 10,000 seniors a day turning 65. We're in a recession-proof market. People buy final expense policies, whether it's George Bush, Bill Clinton, Obama, Donald Trump. The people we see, none of that matters to them. What matters is they want to take care of their family. And they don't want to leave a burden on their family when they pass away. I'm going to get off track just one second because I got one other point. Talking about confidence. So after I would make the sale in the house and I was ready to get up and leave, I would take my hand out and I would shake that person's hand. And in the other hand, I'd have the check that they just wrote me. And I'd say, Mr. and Miss Jones, before I walk out of your house, I have one last question that I have to ask. And you've already told me this answer previously, but I need to make sure that you're going to do what I'm fixing to ask you. And that is, you're going to keep this policy. And if you tell me you're not, I'd rather give you money back to you right now. And it works like a charm. But not many agents would do that because they're scared that they may lose it. They're trying to get the business turned in ASAP because they're scared it may fall off the books. Well, I want to go ahead and address my problems when I'm seeing them face to face for the first time. Don't overpromise. That's a no-no. Using the legacy is a big part of our future. And it just separates us from everyone in the industry. And it's crazy how much better your persistency is with the legacy attached than when it's not. But go back to questions. Someone fired another question to me.
I have a question. What about those of us who are doing telesales?
Just do the same thing.
Okay.
9 o'clock show that you're dialing, and dark show that you're dialing, and we will have to have an honor code and take the pictures and text them to Greg.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
it's a neat contest. I do this all the time. But what I'm trying to do is get you in a pattern and get you in a pattern of repetition. Same day, same week, same time, every day, the same thing. And when you do it that way, your knife gets really sharp, really quick. The first year of the business is the toughest year. It's kind of like climbing Stone Mountain in Atlanta. The first time you ever climb it barefooted, it's tough. But after you've climbed it 20, 30, 40, or 50 times, there's nothing to it then. And it's the same thing with this business. There's no magic. Yeah, I can teach you closes, but the real magic, and I say there's none, and you're going to agree with me, is just go out and see the people. That's the magic. And every time I got out of my car, I committed war. either I was going to win or they were going to win. And I didn't eat back in the day unless I collected a live check. So, anyone else?
Yeah, hi, this is Scott. I'm in the state of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, whatever you want to call it. And you just spoke to the point that the legacy assurance program is a real differentiator. I'm not able to do that in the state of Virginia. Greg and I talked about it briefly yesterday, but I'm looking for some advice to, still be able to maximize my potential here.
You can use the 24-hour doctor care. You can use the negotiation service. We just can't provide products there. So you still can use legacy.
Okay.
But you have to build on what is left that makes sense. I mean, the 24/7 doctor care or 24/7 doctor on call, there's companies out here that only sell that product that's selling for $9.99 a month, $12.99 a month, $15.99 a month. And I think if individuals would spend a few more minutes in the close and educate the client about what they have and what this is going to do for them, they're going to have way better persistency than running in and running out. I will tell you though, and I don't know if this is the problem in Virginia or not, but I think it may be. We have to have 3 years of a certain income level. And I think you have to own a funeral home, and the funeral home is the part that we don't own. Number one's fine. Number two is the funeral home part. I believe I'm right in thinking this. And one day we probably will own a funeral home in Virginia just for what you just asked.
Got it.
That's how powerful legacy is and what it means to us. I'm sorry that that state has a weird law, but we're going to try to work around it at the right time.
I'm actually licensed in 9 states, or I think 7 or 9. I can't remember what Greg and I did, but my home state is Virginia. So it's just one of those things I'm learning. I asked Greg about it yesterday. I wanted some workarounds and some thoughts, and I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I just can't say. Has anybody else got any questions?
Ron, this is Marlo. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to thank you. Just every time I hear you speak, I just get encouraged more and more. Knowing your story, your dad's story, and just the way you all just was so persistent and pushing this business forward and giving all of us the opportunity to grow as well. I get inspired every time I hear you, because it does take the system and staying true to the system. And every time I hear you, I'm reminded how important it is to just stay doing what you guys have already done so that we can be as successful as you all in the long term. So thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. And, I'm not sharing anything other than what I know works. And I'm not sitting here today over promising anybody on this phone anything. But I can promise you this. if you don't get at the first house at 9 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and work past dark each day, that you probably won't make it. But I can also promise if you do that, after about 6 months of sharpening that knife every week, you'll make the income that you want to make from that point on. Because I make up in my mind, again, and I know by the number of leads what I'm going to make each week. And if you will take some of these few nuggets that I just shared and apply them, you will start having the success you deserve. So I will tell each and every person, my life is blessed. And it's individuals like you all who have helped forge senior life and who has made senior life. And I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for individuals like you. And I want to thank you. And it means a lot to me to work with good people. And it means a lot to me to help people. And I'll do my dead level best to help anybody. I can't guarantee success, but I can guarantee if you work with me, you're more than likely going to have success, because I'm going to work you like a dog. And if you work hard, you're going to make money. And when I say that, I mean that cutting up a little bit. This isn't hard work. One, to see your grandma every day. There's nothing hard about that. So it all starts in your mind and in your heart. Get your mind right. Get your heart right. Get on the program. Work the hours that it takes to make it. So, Greg, what I want y'all to do is I want y'all to set that goal that I said earlier, and y'all try to have the best week of this year for you guys. And I predict that will happen. And once that happens, you would just continue to build upon that. And there'll be many people on this phone call, if they do what I've shared, it will change their outlook. It will give them more confidence. It will get them more excited. And they'll make the kind of income that they need to make. Again, I want to thank you for allowing me to spend 20 or 30 minutes with everyone. And y'all can invite me back anytime that you'd ever like. And, you know, I can even stop and see you guys in the next few weeks. We can have a meeting face to face. So make next week happen in a big way. Start planning today. Start getting behind the system today. Get out there and make a sale before noon next week on Monday. Oh. And if you do that, your whole week will just be so much greater. But again, thank y'all. And Greg, I'm going to let you take it over from here.
Ron, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Ron.
You know, folks, it's not,
Thank you.
I don't think there's any other insurance companies anywhere in the United States where the president and CEO will join a team of his agents on a conference call like we just have had. You know, most other places, the CEO and the president, they're stuck up in the ivory tower, too good to talk to the agents. And Ron's just as down to earth as he can be. He spoke from the heart. That's another one of these things that I just like about this company that I'm with. And I like the fact that Ron Ron's putting up some money, and he wants everybody to do well. It's real simple. Be at the first house at 9 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and work just past dark on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you do that, you'll pretty much have a $3,000 week, and then you can have a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off if you wanted to. Or you can use that time to start building a team. And I did want to remind everybody, if you know somebody that needs a good opportunity to make money, we have it. You know, Larry hosts the career overview calls we have on every Thursday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time and Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time at mycareerbriefing.com. Bring people to that as well as yourself. Bring yourself and bring people to it. It doesn't matter if they're licensed or non-licensed. It shows them a little bit more about what we do. You could always have the person you're thinking about plus yourself do a three-way call with the manager to answer any specific questions. And like Ron said, this is a recession-proof business. The people we go see, they're not worried about losing their jobs. They're not worried about the hours being cut because most of them are retired anyway, or maybe on disability. They're getting a check once a month from the U.S. federal government, the best payer in the world. And, you know, a lot of them, as they get older, they start thinking about death. You know, for the younger folks on the call, you know, when you're 25, you're not thinking about death. But when you're 65 or 75, you are thinking about death. And, you know, you kind of pretend like Ron said, you know, you see your grandma every day when you go talk to these people. Nothing wrong with that. You sit down, you have a conversation. You tell people the truth, because most of these senior citizens, they've seen a lot of salespeople in their time, and they can smell a rat. And, you know, when I interviewed every one of you, I brought you on board because I thought you had a lot of honesty and integrity, and you want to make sure you practice that. You never tell people wrong, always be honest. If you're being dishonest or if you're exaggerating or overpromising, they can kind of pick up on it, simply because they've had a lot of experience talking to other salespeople throughout their life. But we're not worried about our customers or our prospects getting laid off or having the hours cut, because they get a steady check every month from the U.S. government. And, you know, with the pandemic that we've had, you know, it's got a lot of our market thinking more about their mortality, because every day the news had been talking about, you know, senior citizens and people with health conditions are much more vulnerable to the COVID virus. And you want to keep mentioning the COVID virus in your warm-up. Like, Miss Betty, that COVID virus sure is something, isn't it? You know, in your warm-up, as you start to make conversation and bond a little bit, make sure you mention that virus, because they've been thinking about it, and it helps you close the deal. And when you close the deal, everybody wins. Miss Jones, she gets a policy. She's covered. Her family benefits. They don't have to worry about where do they get the money. You benefit, you make commissions. The company benefits because they get a brand new customer. And the economy wins because you got more money to flood the economy with, buying extra stuff that you didn't have beforehand. So everybody wins when you make a sale. And I don't have a lot to add. You know, I'm kind of repeating myself. I guess I'm repeating myself because it's important stuff. But, you know, whoever gets the most no's each week will just about be guaranteed to get the most yeses every week also. It's all in the same proportion. I'm going to send an email out this afternoon addressing this contest we're having for next week. And I'm going to add some more icing to the cake myself. I just want to give a little bit of thought how we're going to treat it for the telesales agents also, because they're just as valuable as field agents. And I'll be sending that email out this afternoon. And you may want to get with your manager about thinking about getting some leads. You know, the freshest leads are on Leads the Way on your phone. And then we've also got the spreadsheet that comes out every Tuesday and Thursday. And just remember, if a lead is 2 weeks old, it's no big deal. If Miss Jones wanted some information 2 weeks ago, she still wants it today. It's no big deal. She may not remember right off the bat that she responded, but within 30 seconds she will. And if she wants the information, she don't care if she remembers or not. And you shouldn't care if she remembers or not either. That's fine, Miss Betty. A lot of people forget they sent this card off. That's fine, Miss Betty. A lot of people forget they called the commercial. No big deal. Anyway, I just need to make sure I got your address correct. Is it yada, 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 yada? Great. Says here you're in Dallas, Texas, yada, yada, yada. That's for telesales. And field sales is the same techniques. Well, all we do is we just talk for a living. It's not hard work. It's right between your ears. You can be having the most rotten day of the week. And if you make a small $20 a month sale, all of a sudden the world is, everything's sunshine. Everything's better. Does anybody have any questions about anything that Ron talked about or I've talked about, or especially any problems you may have had with a client, some objection you heard? Because I've heard everything several times and I can share it with you. But if anybody has any questions, this is the good time to spit it out because everybody else can learn from your questions.
Good morning, Nicole again.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm new. I'm completely new. This is my first day starting. So
welcome to the team, Nicole.
Thank you. So I'm going to be reaching out to you to kind of make sure I'm going over everything correctly and properly.
That's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
We want to coach you and teach you and mentor you and keep you pointed in the right direction. All you got to do is roll up your sleeves and go to work. We've got all the tools. We've got the coaching. We've got the experience. I got 22 years experience. We just had the president and CEO of our company talk to everybody in a down-to-earth way. And we're all about selling this product and doing it the right way. But you're always welcome to call me anytime up to about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anybody can, Monday through Sunday. I do this a lot on Saturdays because I enjoy it. And when you enjoy something, you're not working. You're doing your hobby. But I'm rambling on. Who else has a question that we can share with everybody?
Now, everybody are automatic muted. So if you want to say something, just unmute yourself. But I just want to encourage each and every one of you. Hey, you're not going to get an opportunity like this ever again. So this may be your first time or your last time getting an opportunity to ask questions, make comments, and make suggestions to the president of the company that you're actually working with. Mr. Powell took time out of his day to come over our call. So I know some of you may have some questions. You might got some thoughts. You might got some things in your mind. You may got some things in your heart. Hey, just let it out. Let it out right now. Take advantage of this opportunity because you might not get it again.
Don't be shy.
Mr. Powell, I want to thank you. I want to echo that again, what Ms. Marlowe said. We want to thank you just for taking the opportunity and taking time out of your schedule just to come on the call and just bless us with all those encouraging words in your story. Hey, this is Larry McLean out of Wilson, North Carolina.
Well, I hope it's helped. And I know for a fact that y'all all will hold each other accountable for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And y'all all report to each other each night on your production. You are right north of 40,000, but everybody's got to take 20 leads apiece for that to happen. And if everyone took 20 leads, that would be 400. And each lead is worth anywhere from $100 to $125 PPL. So y'all have a big week next week. Y'all conquer that week. And when you do that, then the bar just keeps getting set higher and higher. And you keep doing better and better. And the longer you're in this business, the more money you make. And at some point in time, you may want to start building and developing. And that's a whole nother income stream. And that's for you leaders to talk with the agents about that. But I'll close and say thank you again. And I will be watching you guys next week. I won't have a camera on you, but pretend I do. And I'm going to look for next Friday at about 4 o'clock to talk to Greg and find out what kind of week you've had. But I will tell you right now, if you do not have the intention to take 20 leads, next week after having this discussion, this business might not be for you. Because how you going to make it as a business owner by not keeping your doors open or not having inventory in your store when somebody wanted to buy? So thank y'all again. Greg, I'm gonna hang up unless y'all take it from here, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ron. Have a great day today, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for meeting you guys. Talk to you soon.